This is going to be a video on do-it-yourself windshield repair, how to remove scratches from your windshield, and you can also use it to remove scratches from your side windows as well. And we're going to be using GT Glass Technology products. You can find them at gtglass.com. You can also find them on YouTube under GT Glass as well. I've dealt with a lot of companies, I've dealt with a lot of different products, and by far these have outperformed all the other ones. And this company caters to the professional glass companies as well as the do-it-yourselfer. And you won't be sorry that you looked this company up. GT Glass has a wonderful product line. They have all these polishing discs that you can see here, which can be used. They're different grits and they can be used on your windows. They also have backing pads, which you can see here highlighted by the blue arrow. They have the spindle adapters highlighted by the purple arrow. And of course, if you want to go ahead and buy a kit, and that's what I ended up doing, and I bought some extra stuff besides that, the kit is highlighted with the red arrow. Now you can buy all of this separately. It's slightly a little bit more expensive, but it's definitely worth it. You won't regret buying these at all. Now a lot of people are probably saying, well, why do I want to go ahead and buy all this stuff when I can just replace my windshield? Well, I'll give you a rough idea. For me to replace my windshield in my Saturn, just one of my Saturns, would be well over $300. Using GT Glass Technology products, it's only going to cost me roughly about $50 at the most, and the windshield's going to look better than a brand new one. Now if you need another excuse, I have a 1966 Ford Thunderbird. Now it's not like I can go down to the local junkyard and get a replacement. It's not going to happen. You can imagine what a 1966 Ford Thunderbird windshield would cost if I were to buy this new, let alone buy it used. It doesn't matter what kind of vehicle that you have, these products will fix your windshield scratches as long as they're not too deep. When in doubt, don't take my word for it. Call up GT Glass Technologies. They do have an 800 number, or send them an email. Every time I have called, I have never got a voicemail, ever. These people are wonderful. They'll walk you through the steps in the process. And they also, if you buy the kit, they will send you detailed instructions on telling you how to do this. They will tell you what grit you need to start out with using, and this is a very wonderful product. It really is. I have no connections with GT Glass Technology whatsoever. I am just one of their customers. I buy their products, and they have not put me up to making this video. Believe me, they haven't. Like I said, they have great products. One thing I do have to stress, if you do not have patience and you expect instant results, stop watching the video now and go buy yourself a windshield, because this is a process that takes a little bit of time. You have to work at it to get the results. And like I said, if you have problems, send GT Glass an email or call them right up on the phone and they'll walk you through it. I forget who I talked to there, but they are absolutely wonderful when it comes to tech support and if you don't know what you want. Now we're going to go over the equipment required. An electric drill with at least 1500 RPMs is required for this. You could use a 3/8 or you could use a 1/2 inch. I have both, so I alternate between the two because I don't want to overheat my drill. And the other thing that GT Glass recommends is you can use an 18-volt cordless. It has to have at least 1500 RPMs. I have talked to several people that have used cordless drills for this and they burnt theirs out. The other alternative is go to gtglass.com, and they sell specialized polishers just for this, so you don't have to burn out your drill that you have now. They are a little on the expensive side, but they're worth it. The other thing you'll need is glass cleaner. You can get away with using Windex. You have to get your windshield nice and clean on the outside. It's very important that you do that. The other alternative is rubbing alcohol. You can use rubbing alcohol as well. That's a good glass cleaner. Or you can use a spray bomb. Your choice. You're also going to need a dry erase marker. It comes in handy, and you'll see why shortly. Aside from the marker, you're going to need an extension cord. Extension cord is going to come in handy because your electric corded drills, the cord's not long enough, as well as your kit, your glass kit that you're going to be obtaining. You also need paper towels. If your wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you want to call your significant other isn't looking, you want to grab paper towels and run out the door when they're not looking, of course, because they're going to complain that you're taking these. You also are going to need a garden hose. Garden hose will also be crucial to this as well. Now, this is the first step. This is the most important step that there is. You want to make sure you clean the inside and the outside of your windshield thoroughly. You want to make sure you get all of the contaminants on the outside off of the windshield as much as possible, or your glass as much as possible. And the reason for this is you're going to be using abrasive wheels, and you don't want to make the situation any worse than you have to. It's very important that you do this. Now, the next step, you want to make sure you use your dry eraser from the inside of your vehicle. If you have wiper blade marks on your windshield, you want to trace them out, so you use that as a reference point. That's why you're using the dry eraser mark on the inside of the vehicle, so you have a mark that looks similar to this. That way you don't lose track of where you're going. There's no sense in trying to use your abrasive wheels on areas that are perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with them. This is the area that you're going to want to concentrate on, and this is why you're using your dry eraser inside the vehicle. Now, as you can see here, I've already marked it. Of course, I've been working on this already, but I'm going to show you what it looks like after you've been working on it for a little bit. I'll take this from step one. Don't worry about it. You can see the dry erase mark and why it makes a big difference. As soon as you hit this with water, all of this buffing basically is cleared up and you can't see it. And that's why it's very, very important to use the dry erase mark. And I'm going to be going over areas that I haven't touched. You can see where the wiper blades left a mark and why the black dry erase makes that much of a difference when it comes down to doing this. Okay, now you've got your kit. As you can see here, I've laid the kit out on the hood of my vehicle. And now I'm going to go ahead and attach everything to the drill and get everything ready to go. Now we're going to go ahead and put this all together. Real simple to do. You just pick up your drill and grab your adapter, and we're going to put our adapter in here, and you want to make sure you get this really tight. You don't want to jerry rig it, so to speak, and you don't want this to come loose at all, so you got to put it real tight. Then we're going to take and pull our abrasive disc off. It's peel and stick, real simple. And then we're going to make sure we get it centered on there just right. You don't want the foam backing exposed if you can help it. And these are actually set up where they'll line up perfectly, so you don't have to worry about that at all. Again, it doesn't help if you press it on there and make sure it's on there really good. And of course, you want to take your other discs and you want to put them to the side for when you're ready to use them. Now, the next thing you want to do is set up your water hose. As you can see here, I have a little bit too much water. You can actually cut the water back quite a bit. And you want to make sure you don't have it running directly over what you're doing. You want to have a little bit off to the side. As you can see, I have a constant water source. It's very important that water be on this at all times when you're doing this. If you do not, you run the possibility of ruining your windshield or your window glass. Again, it's very important to have the water constantly flowing, and of course you can control your water flow through the hose by just turning back a little bit on your faucet. It's that simple. Now you have your drill and you're ready to go, and you have your abrasive pad already on there. You make sure you reposition your hose as needed, and of course this is where you're going to come in with your drill. You want to make sure, I can't stress enough, that you keep the water away from the drill so the water doesn't get inside of it. You don't want to get electrocuted if you can help it. You can have this on high speed and lock it in place, and you just want to work at it slowly. You don't want to concentrate on one place in particular for too long. If you do that, you get what's called a fisheye effect, and you will ruin your windshield. As you can see, I'm just going back and forth, and I'm working it slowly. This, like I had said before, is a long process. This takes a while to do. You're not going to finish this in 5 or 10 minutes. It's not going to happen. If you do not have the patience, I suggest you go buy yourself a windshield. But this method will work, but you need to take your time and progressively go through your discs. And if you got your scratch kit, They tell you to start out with the most abrasive first and work your way down depending on the severity of your scratch. And if you notice in your kit, you have a blue, orange, and you have a white. Your blue is the most aggressive and the most abrasive. You'll have to spend a while and work with your blue one first. That's the one that you want to start out with to begin with. And what you want to do is basically you want to start with a blue disc, and then you're going to work your way down as you go to the orange, and then you're going to go to the white. It's that simple. Now, like I stated before, you want to start with the most aggressive disc and you want to work your way down. Now, what you want to do is start out with the most aggressive, which would be the blue. There are other aggressive discs that are more abrasive than the blue ones. I suggest you call GT Glass and talk to them, and they will actually guide you through this depending on the severity of your scratch. You want to use the blue disc for about a minute or 2-minute increments until all the scratches are gone. Now, if you think that all of the scratches are gone, you're going to need to clean your glass and get all the residue that happens to be on the windshield. There'll be a little bit of residue, cloudy residue on there that you need to get off there in order to inspect the scratches. This is absolutely normal to see this residue on there. And if you do see the scratch starting to disappear and it's a haze that's all pretty much uniform, then you can work your way down from the blue one to the orange. And then, of course, you want to use the orange one for about a minute or two as well. It's that simple. Now, just like the directions state, once you've achieved a good, consistent haze on the glass, you want to clean the glass as best as you can. You want to get all that debris off. You've got to clean this again, because the last step is the white polishing disc, and any debris that's on there will actually make it worse. So you want to get as much of the residue off there as you possibly can, and like I said, you're going to follow it up with a white polishing disc. Now, if you've done this properly, you won't see any haze left over whatsoever. All the haze will be gone and your windshield will actually look brand new. Again, like I had said before, if you have any doubts about this, any questions, if you want to see any other videos on this, go to gtglass.com or go to their website. And they actually have different videos and different products in which you can view all of this. Now, if you've done this properly, you'll end up with a windshield that actually looks almost brand new. Of course, when you get done, you want to make sure you take the dry eraser marks from the inside of the vehicle and make sure you take them off with a paper towel and get them all off. Hopefully, you've got a finish that looks almost brand new and a windshield that almost looks brand new. Well, hopefully this has helped somebody out. I hope it has. I welcome any comments or suggestions. Again, GT Glass Technology. By far, you will not be disappointed in their products, and I do encourage you to visit them on YouTube as well as their website. Thanks for watching.